Welcome to the channel. I'm Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group with Scotia Wealth Management, and this series was created to help you find financial freedom. In each video, we discuss topics relevant to you and your life. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell below to receive notifications of new videos. It's my goal with this channel to help guide you in some basic and introductory practices and principle, some that you were likely never taught in school. There are many strategies that exist that can help you with saving, investing, tax reduction, and long-term estate and retirement planning. I'm here to take you through all of this. I can understand the confusion that exists around much of this information, and that often feels hard to find exactly what it is you're looking for. And now that we live in an age of information overload, it can be difficult to find trustworthy and simplified sources. I'm here to change that, to be a resource for you to find information that you want. With that said, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in upcoming videos, be sure to comment below to be featured. Now, let's dive in. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the Rule of 72. Have you ever thought about how good it would feel to be able to double your money and really make your savings work for you? One of the questions I hear a lot is, how am I going to possibly get the savings I need to support my lifestyle, both today and in the future? And I know it's a question on the minds of many young people, especially those just entering the workforce after school. This is why taking a look at and fully understanding how your returns are earned on savings is so critical to growing your wealth. The concept of doubling your money is connected to the concept of compounding, the miracle of compound interest. Today, I'm going to share the science, experience, and excitement of doubling your money. And this is one of the keys to your financial freedom. It's called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 goes like this: 72 divided by your rate of return. Let's just make an assumption that the rate of return you're going to use for your portfolio is 8%. So 72 divided by 8 equals how many years it will take for your money to double. 72 divided by 8 equals 9. So if you earn an 8% rate of return on your portfolio for a full 9 years, your money will double in 9 years. And here's the good news for younger investors. You've got lots of 9-year periods over the years, so your money can double and double and double again over the years. So you may ask yourself, how does this Rule of 72 relate to me and my investments? Let's take a look at Shelley's portfolio. Shelley's invested in a balanced portfolio, which means her investments are balanced between higher growth stocks and lower risk investments like bonds and cash. Based on Shelley's balanced approach, her forecast rate of return, net of all costs, is 6%. Now, just to clarify, simply put, your annual rate of return is calculated as the value of your investments at the end of the year, plus or minus any deposits or withdrawals you made during the year, minus the amount you had at the start of the year. That's how much money you made in the year. This is all divided by the amount you had at the start of the year. Even the simplest math is not always well understood. Keep in mind that it is now a regulatory requirement of firms managing investments on behalf of clients to provide a standardized version of this calculation automatically for all their clients. So you don't have to know how that calculation is done, but it is important to know what your annual rate of return is. If Shelley follows a traditional career path from her early career to retirement, this original lump sum of money could potentially double 3 to 4 times. This is why we always drive home the importance of investing early, and why concepts such as this one, doubling your money, is crucial in helping you find financial stability and freedom as early in your life as possible. There are 2 other important points to consider when thinking about the rule of 72 in your life and in your portfolio. This math works with your net rate of return. That is the rate of return net of your costs, the money that actually ends up in your pocket. For example, if Shelley's return for a given year is 8%, but she pays 2% in fees, that means her net return after costs is 6%. If that was to continue over time, it could mean that her money doubles every 12 years, 72 divided by 6, instead of every 9 years. That's 33% longer. Now that doesn't mean that fees aren't good. It doesn't mean you shouldn't pay fees, but what it does mean is you should be clear about what your fees are and the impact they're having. So fees are something to always be considered, but they're not always a bad thing. The second thing to remember about your rate of return, I should mention this, that as a rule, higher rates of return are almost also associated with high risk. For your money to double every 9 years, your savings have to have earned a net of all costs 8% average annual rate of return for the entire 8-year period. At the beginning, you can plan to do that. However, the higher risk, the less certainty you have around the outcome. Shelley may like the idea of earning 10% a year, who wouldn't, so that her money doubles more quickly. However, if in year 5 into her plan, her portfolio loses 50% of its value, she may never be able to recoup the losses. In the end, have achieved a much lower return than planned. This is one reason why it's so important to have a personal process to check in on your investments. Not too often, but enough to know that you're still on track. The rule of 72 is a powerful concept. However, it comes to how you can apply it in your portfolio. I recommend that you work with a professional or someone you can trust who understands investing, who has some experience, to help figure out what an appropriate rate of return expectation or goal is for you in your current circumstances. Based on the rule of 72, this is a range of possible returns based on what's going on in the world today, but also considering the history, investing all the way back to 1960. As well, it includes some forecasting of the years ahead. So let me take some time and highlight how different rates of return have an impact on how quickly your money will double. So let's dig into some numbers. Earlier we were talking about Shelley's portfolio. Well, think a minute about your portfolio. What if you were able to make a 10% average annual rate of return? Now that's an aggressive return, requires a lot of stock, and it's going to be a bumpy ride the whole way. However, at 10%, your money would double every 7.2 years. What if that much risk maybe wasn't quite right? It might affect your ability to sleep at night when things go wrong in the stock market. Well, we could step down and potentially own a more conservative portfolio of stocks that could earn 8%. And if you are able to earn an 8% average annual rate of return, then your money would double every 9 years. Let's recall Shelley's circumstance. Shelley had decided in conversations that all stocks all the time was probably too risky for her. It might be difficult for her to sleep at night when the stock market has those big drawdowns, those big declines, which On occasion, it most certainly does. So for Shelley, the balanced approach was the right approach. And in a balanced approach, we were able to forecast an average annual rate of return, remember, net of costs, of 6%. At that kind of return, Shelley's going to double her money every 12 years. 12 years seems like a long time, but remember, through the course of Shelley's career, she's going to be able to double her money a couple of times, maybe even 3 times. So important to have the proper portfolio, the proper risk for the rate of return. Remember, higher returns mean potentially a much bumpier road along the way. I'll dive deeper into how to actually achieve the different rates of return that we've discussed in future videos. In our world of RRSPs, tax-free savings account, and defined contribution plans, your financial freedom is in your hands. And the good news is that you don't need to be an expert investor or a stock market guru to find your financial freedom. Shelley knows more about how different rates of return will affect how quickly her savings grow, how quickly her savings double. Real numbers that she can use to plan her roadmap to her financial freedom. Can you imagine ways that you could incorporate this knowledge into your own plan, into your financial future? For more information on the Rule of 72, doubling your money, be sure to check out the resources we've included in the description below. Finding financial freedom doesn't have to be a scary or overwhelming goal. Together, we can work to understand and break down each concept that we talk about to help you achieve your own financial dreams. Finding financial freedom is possible, and it may be closer to reality than you ever imagined. Tune in next time as we share more tips and more concepts. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell below for notifications of future episodes. If you'd like to get in touch, please email us at the address below in the description. See you next time.